Okay.
Just chat amongst yourselves. I'll be there in a sec.
Hi, everyone. Come in, come in, come in. JewCee
Hey,
back
party
in a
people.
second, but you got us two fine chicas until then.
You sure do. So come on, everybody, come on in.
People. Come on in, come on in, come on in.
While we share all of this with all you people.
Come on in, sexy people. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Welcome to another fabulous Monday. JewCee back in a second. And y'all got me and Siren here. Today's topic is going to be, how do you receive communication? So the communication styles of receiving communication. We're going to get to the NFL scores here in a minute. How was your week, Siren? How was your week?
My week was very, very tough. Very, very tough. Wednesday, I lost my brother, Tony. He battled cancer for a long time. He fought it. He gave a really, really great fight. But he lost his battle on Wednesday morning. And this is hard. This is the third sibling that I've lost since 2017.
Oh, wow.
And
wow. I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah, so it's been pretty rough. So kind of just bear with me. I'm still here. I'm still doing what I gotta do. And we're still gonna have fun on tonight's show.
Of course. He wouldn't want you to do it any other way.
Right, and I'm gonna still stuff my face while we do this too, because we know we got to eat by a certain time.
First of all, I just got off work.
I did too. But this shows us we can stay on our stuff and meet our goals. I hate when I be misplacing stuff. Oh well. So
you hate it when you do what?
So I misplaced stuff. So I am computerless tonight, which is why I look this way. I don't know what is going on with my baby, but I got to get her right. So I can't look at any scores. We're gonna have to wait for. No, this is my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is my phone. I had to figure something out.
I know she said she'll be back on, but I'm about to pull up the scores.
Yeah.
But where's everybody at?
Tell me. But also, we need to know how was your week, Miss Purple Rain?
It was a week.
You be having interesting stories. I be loving to live vicariously through you.
My life is not that interesting.
From the outside looking in, yes, it is.
I just be over here. I do what I want to do.
That's why it's so interesting.
But that took me a while to get there.
Yes, work in progress for me.
So this past week was just a regular week. It was slow at work and slow at the shop. So it was just, a pressing week. Trying to get rent paid. You know how we do as adults. Adulting is ghetto. I say it all the time. Adulting is ghetto. And why do I do it?
Because it is.
I want to not have to adult. I can't wait till the day I become a millionaire so I no longer have to actually adult.
I'm right with you.
I can work when I want to, and the money will still be there to pay the bills. So,
Okay, so this is kind of small for me, so I'm gonna try to read this. So, good evening, Moses. Good evening. And blue.
why
Is
am
that
I
Blue
not seeing it on
Ivy?
my? I'm not seeing it on my screen.
I'm looking at it. We got Blue Ivy. I believe that's what that says. She's
Hey,
checking
Blue
in
Ivy.
from work right now. And we have Rod
Yep, my
Ave.
baby's at work.
We have Rod
Hey,
Ave
Rod.
as well as our favorite Lorenzo.
Lorenzo's on here too. See, I can't see absolutely nobody.
Yeah, I'm seeing it all.
My computer sucks.
Oh, okay. Here's a whole nother thing I just found out I can do on this phone. I can actually get them, make them bigger. Cool.
You
Oh,
are
this is
silly.
funny, right?
You know that.
Hey, I like learning new shit.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn down my phone, and maybe I can see the comments. Yep, there we go.
Got it?
Hey, Rod. Hey, Blue Ivy. Hi, Moses. Lorenzo. My baby Jalen might not be on here tonight. He's at home, not feel ill.
Well, we'll still send him healing vibes. We don't like nobody
I'm
feeling not
sending
good.
him healing. I don't know where it came from, and we were together yesterday, and I feel just fine, so it made me feel some type of way. Like we were even together when he started not feeling well.
Could be
So,
many reasons why.
but did you pull up? Huh?
I can't pull up
You
any
on your
scores.
phone?
Yeah, I can't
Right.
pull up anything.
It's okay. I got us. Cause yes. I'm gonna wait for the, oh, there's our sister. I was trying to stop. You back?
Girl, I need like 5 drinks. I need a massage. I need sex. I need it all right now. I just
2, please. 2, please.
Life.
Ooh, I need it all right now. I'm taking volunteers. Ooh, when I tell y'all what I went through. Let me close out some stuff. Hold on, y'all. I can leave that. All right. Woo wee. This was a moment. Let me just tell y'all, this was a moment. I hope everybody's doing well though. I do. Hello, ladies. Love you guys. Thank you all for being patient. We do apologize once again. We were late. We will not be late into 2024. We're not gonna be late.
Life is life, and though. Life is trying to mess with us at the end of the year.
It is. You know what? We are fighting.
Sure is.
We are fighting it back. Okay, we sure are. We are fighting it back. Let me just tell you what I just went through. So, for y'all, the ladies know me. They know what I've been going through for the past several months. This is not just like I've been trying to get my printer to work, and my printer has just stopped working. And I have spent hours on the phone with HP, hours. So here's the conclusion. They are sending me a new printer.
Well, all right.
Staples will not be getting any more of my money when I have a perfectly brand new printer sitting in the office that I cannot use. So I apologize. I have been on the phone with them since 5:30. So that's a long time to be talking about a printer. So and everything we've tried has not worked. We cannot get it to connect to my laptop. So I have to ship it back. So I will. They're sending me a new one. So I'm excited. So that'll be here. That's my Christmas present to my office, a new printer. Yay.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
It'll be here on the 21st. So I figure that's a Christmas gift. There you go for the office. Yay. But it has been the big holdup of me finishing a lot of stuff for my business because I can't print anything to get my clients going. So I have to go to Staples and it's a lot of stuff to print. So I'm trying not to have to do that, but I'm excited. So I missed everything. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry for the delay, everybody that listens to us. I really do apologize. But I believe we need some NFL scores right now, do we?
Yes, we do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what does she click on? Yeah, she did.
JewCee, where'd you go, sis?
And I don't know what. Right. JewCee, did you leave us and why? What did we do?
This is just a crazy night.
Yo, I'm so serious because I was literally on with her and my computer was working and then it stopped working. What is going on tonight?
I do not know. That was crazy. I think
Mercury is not in micro braids right now. So what's happening?
I think because I was in it with them doing the remote stuff, it still was not all the way out. So I think I'm good now. So here we go with our scores. We got sleigh bells, slaying, and all that good stuff. So it's crazy. Everyone can hear me, right? We good. Can I hear? We here. So it looks like we got Kansas City and Green Bay going on right now. That's what it looks like.
We're here. I just can't see comments. Yes.
We have to probably start over with the comments. They'll be in there. Okay, so right now we've got Bengals and Jaguars going on. Bengals are winning 21-14 over the Jaguars. Come on, Jaguars, get it together. Beat the Bengals. In the third quarter. We got the Seahawks and the Cowboys. We're just going to go through these really fast. Cowboys won, beat the Seahawks 41-35. Cowboys are 9-3. Seahawks are 6-6. Your Chargers and the Patriots looks like, the Chargers shut out the Patriots. The Chargers beat them 6-0. The Chargers are 5-7. The Patriots are 2-10. The Lions and the Saints looks like the Lions beat the Saints 33-28. The Lions are 9-3. The Saints are 5-7. The Falcons and the Jets looks like the Jets are lost to the Falcons 13-8. The Falcons are 6-6. The Jets are 4-8. Cardinals and the Steelers. Thank you, Cardinals. Beat the Steelers 24-10. The Cardinals are 3-10. The Steelers are 7-5. Colts and the Titans. Looks like the Colts pulled it out 31-28 over the Titans. The Colts are 7-5. The Titans are 4-8. Dolphins and the Commanders. Looks like the Dolphins handed the Commanders a mighty big loss, 45-15. The Dolphins are 9-3. The Commanders are 4-9. Broncos and the Texans. The Texans beat the Broncos 22-17 is the score there. Broncos are 6-6. Texans are 7-5. The Panthers and the Buccaneers. It looks like the Buccaneers beat those Panthers 21-18. The Panthers are 1-11, and the Buccaneers are 5-7. The Browns lost to the Los Angeles Rams. The Browns are 7-5. The Rams are 6-6. Final score was 36-19. The 49ers and the Eagles. Looks like the 49ers beat the Eagles 42-19. The 49ers are 9-3. The Eagles are 10-2. The Chiefs and the Packers. Looks like the Packers beat the Chiefs 27-19. The Packers are now 6-6. The Chiefs are 8-4. All righty. The buys were the Ravens, the Bears, the Raiders, the Vikings, the Bills, and the Giants. Those were our buys. Okay. Okay, so we got through that. Oh my gosh. Did we get the comments back? I'm so sorry.
Well, I read them before.
I don't have any.
I can see them.
Okay. Are they back up though? I mean, did the people come back? Have they? I don't know. It looks like we got a big goose egg, but we're back. We will continue. I'm doing my Shaka Khan impression tonight. Thank you.
Is that a Shaka Khan impression? Okay.
Yeah. Back in the day.
That looks like a JewCee impression, but okay.
Looks like it's too much. I braided it and it just like, alrighty. So tonight we have a wonderful topic on hand. Hopefully everybody can get back in and join us tonight. If not, can't wait to see the comments later. All right. It wasn't a different link, so it should have went back in. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here they come. We've got two. All right.
And I still can't see any. So I think it's just my screen tonight.
We've got, we got two people viewing again. So we're back up and running, guys. We're full throttle. Here we go. Here we go. So tonight we have a great topic on hand and we apologize, but you know what? Yeah, life be life. And whoa, okay.
Tech be teching too. How about that?
Yeah,
life
that
tech be teching. Tech be teching.
It's
because that's what's happening tonight. Because
it's crazy. Okay, just crazy. So tonight our lead is going to be Miss Purple Rain on her topic. And the crowd goes wild.
Okay.
The dogs are barking. Everybody goes crazy. And our topic tonight is how to receive communication. This is interesting. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I got my pen and paper. I am ready. So take it away, Miss Purple Rain. Finally.
Okay. As we've discussed on previous shows, you have assertive, aggressive, passive, aggressive, and manipulative. Now, we all know that when it comes to communicating, those are the five, but those are also the five styles on how you receive information. So when you think about how you receive information, it's basically how you interpret the information you're receiving. So if someone is coming passive back, or are you aggressive? What is your communication style, and how does it reflect when listening to someone or reading a text, or things of that nature? And then also, how do you receive it? How do you receive information best? Is it nonverbal? Do you pick up on nonverbal cues? Do you prefer it to be text or written out like instructions? Those are the things that we want to dive into tonight. So,
okay,
ladies, what do you think your reception style is? Do you prefer nonverbal over verbal? Do you rather it be written down? Are you a kinesthetic learner, so you need to see it? Like, how do you guys receive information?
I guess for me, it would be depending on what type of information I need to receive. So if it's like a conversation, like a conversation with people, I like verbal best.
Okay.
I feel like I can make sure that I'm not misunderstanding. I'm not, we can go back and forth, we can banter, we can talk, we can chat, we can make sure that and I can see the person, so I can kind of see their facial expressions. I can see their because there's so many different ways when you communicate it, your body language, your
Mhm.
facial expression, the whole nine yards, I think. So when I'm talking to someone, that's one way. But when I'm learning, I am the type of person, I'm a hands-on type of learner.
You're kinesthetic. Okay.
Right. So and I can do some verbal with that as well, but I like hands-on the best, I guess you could say, when it comes to
Okay.
that type of a communication process.
So do you pick up on, are you able to communicate well through text or no?
Um, I can because I can type pretty fast. But now I love talk to text. So I talk to text, but I keep it simple. I understand. Keep it simple. Don't get too complex with your words because it will type in something else that you didn't even
Read.
say. So, and you need to
Spell check.
proofread.
True.
You need to proofread before you send. Okay. But I don't like a whole bunch of text, but I feel like even with emails, same thing. We're not going to go back and forth when we could pick up the phone or we could chat and we could talk. In business, I mean, I was taught a long time ago, coming from a corporate 500 background. If you have to email more than 3 times to someone, it's time to pick up the phone and have a
You need to
conversation.
call them.
If you Yeah, instead of going back and forth, back and forth, back and
Mm-hmm.
forth with emails, because that's just to me a waste of time. Um, so let's get to the point, as my mother would say. And I don't like a lot of. I think that you lose a lot in translation when you're texting as well, because words have
Mm-hmm.
more than one meaning, and by not seeing the
You
person,
can't get their context or their cues.
Or the
Yeah.
subtext for that matter.
right?
You don't know
So
if they're mad, happy, if they laughing, if they joking.
right, and the emojis really don't
Like for me,
help that
they
much.
don't help.
I don't think.
No.
Except for the
Like
eggplant.
for me, I'm a verbal. Yeah, except for the eggplant.
The egg,
Eggplant and the peach.
yeah,
Um,
they mean
I'm
everything.
a verbal person.
And it
I'd rather you pick up the phone and call me than text me a goddamn thing. If you're gonna text me, it needs to be a quick sentence, not a book. Cause then I'm trying to figure out what the hell you're talking about. Um, Again, I'm one of those people, I need to hear the inflection in your voice so that I can receive the information properly. Because if I'm not receiving it properly, my first mode is to be on the defense.
Mhm.
I'm definitely one of those people that I need to hear the tone of your voice in order to understand how to respond. And I know this is, I listen to react and I don't listen to respond, which is a very aggressive thing. But that's a defense mechanism that I've built up, and I feel that most people with aggressive communication styles it's a defense mechanism.
Mhm. Agreed.
What
Yeah,
about you, Siren?
I I I tend to like a mix, but personally I do like speaking. I like to hear someone's tone. I like to see their face too. Because it's a
Say that
lot of
again.
different things that come across that way. I read. It's a lot of different things that can come across that may not have been intended to come across. So if I just hear a voice and they could be being very sarcastic and I don't know they're being sarcastic, and if I take offense to it, if I would have saw their face, I would have known that they were probably being sarcastic. Or just being able to communicate with someone so that I can understand. I'm also a person, I'm neurospicy. So I'm going to ask questions. If I don't understand, I'm wanting to ask questions. And that means that if it's text, then I'm going to be sending a whole bunch of texts asking these questions when, like you said, JewCee, let's just get on a damn phone and figure this out. Or let's get on FaceTime and figure this out. Um, I do I mean, like I said, I have a mix. I am a kinesthetic learner, but it also helps if I can hear and see it.
Mm-hmm.
It just becomes easier.
Mm-hmm.
One is yeah, kinesthetic is cool, um, but sometimes reading direction, not necessarily reading directions, but understanding directions that are not clear could be a little for me. So I like all three of them mixed together personally, but kinesthetic is the one that is the major one for me.
I also think
I
with the
agree.
profession that I've chosen to, with the profession that I've chosen to step into now, um, it really is allowing me to, I feel like, perfect my listening skills because I am listening to other people's concerns, their issues, their problems with what's going on in their relationships, and it has taught me to shut up and listen a little better than not so much um, interrupt somebody in the middle of their thought. Let them finish their thought, even though I might know what the end of the thought's going to be. Allow them to finish the thought, allow me to kind of sit back, take some more time, and allow that person to get out what they need to get out. I think sometimes when we do communicate, what when we're talking about receiving communication, we don't shut up, we don't take the time to listen,
Mm.
and we don't listen with not just our ears, but sometimes I think you have to listen with your eyes. You have to see what their demeanor is. You have to listen with your heart. You have to listen, a little bit more than what just what you're hearing, because sometimes there's more to it than just that.
I completely agree. I completely agree. So, with that being said, the difference in the different communication types. Now, this, even though we're talking about listening, communication type, in order to determine how it is that you are receiving information. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So, assertive communication. Assertive communication, that is a communication style that is clear, upfront, direct, without being pushy, disrespectful, or rude. Assertive communication comes from a place of confidence. Someone who uses this style communication expresses their wants and needs clearly while at the same time to those around them. It's the balance that enables assertive communicators to achieve consensus and compromise. So that's assertive. Aggressive, and this is what I feel like I am, and sometimes I come across as, and I'm working on being not so much her, but aggressive communication style is intimidating, argumentative, and hostile. People who communicate this way are generally only concerned with winning and believe their own opinions to be more worthy or important than those of their team members or co-workers, people they're in conversation with, friends. If someone tries to interject or assert their own opinion, aggressive communicators will steamroll straight over them, leaving those that they are communicating with feeling bullied, ignored, and insignificant.
Hmm.
Passive communication. The passive communication style is very submissive, easygoing, people pleasing, and self effacing. People who communicate this way generally let more assertive or aggressive types take the lead, largely because they do not like conflict or will do whatever they can to avoid it. This communication style is often appreciated by more aggressive communicators and passive communicate as passive communicators will stay out of their way. Passive aggressive. I know a few people like this. This communication style combines elusive and aggressive. of communication styles. On the surface, people will who use this style of communication seem passive and easygoing, but deep down they are angry and frustrated, and this anger will manifest in sarcasm, gossip, rumor spreading, and patronizing or condescending language. And then, last but not least, the blah, manipulative. I can't speak. Manipulative style. This communication style is hard to pinpoint at first. Employ this style use deception and cunning to influence outcomes. Manipulative communicators won't say what they really mean or how they really feel. Their goals are often hidden in the water so that their true intentions aren't known until their goals are achieved.
Sneaky motherfuckers. Oh, okay.
Them sneaky motherfuckers, okay?
Yeah, sneaky.
So, usually how you communicate others is also how you receive communication. In my life, on people to be a little bit of both, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. They use this with this communication style and confuse people. They act when they're really not. We are really technical issued today, okay?
Oh man, no, I'm sorry. I turned mine off so I could go get something to nibble on. I'm starving.
So, what do y'all think about those types of styles? Do y'all agree with those?
I agree because, and I do believe that people. I do believe that people can have more than one style of communication based on the situation.
Yes.
Based on the situation. Because sometimes someone that's passive, you know, if there's something that they're passionate about, they might become a little more, you know, high strung or a little more aggressive in their conversation. Right. I'm the type of person I do not like conflict. I do not, because I just automatically go to the other side. And you there's no like in between. It's either 0 or 5,000. So your best bet is to keep me at 0 and not have me go to 5,000 instantaneously on your ass.
Because if I go to 5,000, it's gonna be a mess.
It's gonna be some issues for you.
I don't like people. This, like, hearing all of this stuff really just makes it just kind of puts it there. I just don't like people.
Well, don't say you don't like people. Say you don't like some people. Because you like us. We can't stand
y'all
you.
Family.
Well, we can't.
Y'all family.
I'm still a person, damn it.
I guess that's, I don't know. Maybe
I am? Alien? What the fuck?
I don't consider you one of them.
We are
right.
You're goddesses to me, so okay.
Okay. I like that. Okay, we'll take that. I can take that.
Y'all just not one of them. It's like, and honestly, I will say I blame our country, our culture, the indoctrination of people. We live in a very much so fear-based society, because that's the best and quickest way to control people. So we tend to, and we've been told that we should be fearing other people, or someone's going to get you, or this person's going to do this and they're going to do that, to the point where we can tend to become the narcissist or the person who wants to manipulate, because we think that that's what we have to do in order to get what we want, And then you find out that's actually the hard way. That's the hard way. Because you lose a bit of yourself in that, and then you don't know how you start, when you lose yourself, then you stop knowing how to communicate with others. And like you said, JewCee, it does depend on whom or what situation that we're talking about.
Mhm.
But I feel like when you lose yourself and you think that everybody is out to get you, even somebody who's trying to love you, so you become aggressive
completely.
or passive aggressive, or sometimes you can even just become real passive because you just if you might feel like you're just so broken down that you just can't, and then you just shut down. I'm really good at shutting down. I do know that about myself.
I also think some people go into, I know what I go into. I go into protect mode. I go into, and this is all, mine stems from the trauma that I had of losing my parents at such a young age. I can go into, I've got to protect myself mode. Damn the torpedoes. I've got to survive. You can also call it survival mode at the same time, because people will come at you, and come for you in different ways, shape, forms, and fashions. Now we have we can go back to this topic when we talked a little bit about how we're losing so many people to mental health issues, because they don't know how to deal with conflict resolution, when they don't know how to handle criticism, when they don't know how to, kind of like back in the day, we were basically told, let the water roll off your back like a duck. You keep it moving. You don't let what somebody says about you determine who or what you are. But now it seems like we're in a society, and I don't mind the sensitivity. I'm not trying to put that in a negative light, but I think we're almost oversensitive in some respect, that we cannot own who we are. We are looking for validation from somebody else. So if I call you fat, or I call you out your name, you tend to think, well, if you're not in tune with yourself, I guess these things shouldn't. They might bother you a whole lot if there's a whole bunch of people doing it. But if it's somebody you don't even know who the hell they are, why are you paying attention? Why is that communication getting through to you more than the people that are in your life telling you you're great, I love you, blah, blah, blah? But you will take all of this negativity from people that don't know you, have never met you, but got something to say about you, to the point where you will take your own life.
I can explain that. I can explain that.
I think
because they don't.
Everything to do with what you said, because they what?
Because they don't know you. That's why. If someone who doesn't, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, and this is coming from someone who suffers from that, who's gone through that, who has healed from that. Someone who doesn't mean you says you're ugly, says you're fat, things of that nature. That means more people take heed to that, because that is coming from society standards. So they don't know you, and even though the people that know you personally are telling you you're beautiful, you're smart, you're intelligent, you know me. So you've had a conversation with me, and your views of me have nothing to do with society standards. Most people want to be viewed as beautiful, especially when it comes to beauty and bodies. They want to be viewed versus society standards because they want to be what's normal. They want to be that. They want to be the same thing that they see everybody else on over. That's where that comes from. Because sometimes you feel
Okay.
like the people that know you are just being nice to you.
And they might be.
I think
But
I
I don't know. I guess for me, I'm sorry, son. I was gonna say, but just for me, I can only speak on myself. Me personally, I'm gonna give more validation to the people that know me than to people that don't know not one fucking thing about me. Because
Yeah, but
you
sometimes you
don't.
also got to look at, okay,
I guess I'm really good, but okay, like I said, I'm a product of the '60s. I'm a little different, maybe. I could really give five shits what somebody thinks about me. You guys know that. It doesn't. What do you want? This is what you get. If you think I'm fat, guess what? I know I'm fat, and I love every inch of me. I don't have to be bothered with you. You don't have to tell me the. My mind is strong enough to know. Hey, yeah, maybe I need to lose a couple of pounds. Okay, I can own that. I can own that. But other than that, what else you got? You can call me the N-word all you want. I'm not. I guess I'm strong enough within myself not to be affected by what everybody else has to say. I honestly, in a lot of ways, I've always been like that. And I think that happened for me. I know when it happened. I can tell you exactly when it happened. I was competing. As some of you know, I can share this. I'm a competitive. I was a competitive. My baton's sitting right there anyway. I was a competitive baton twirler growing up, and to be a little black girl twirling baton back in the day, in the '60s and the '70s and the '80s, is quite a feat, and I was quite good. Um, I went to a state competition, and there was a discipline that I was very excellent at, and I was competing in that discipline, and somebody saw the scores on my score sheet, and the score would have given me enough to make top 15 in the state. But one of the judges overheard, and they crossed off my score on my. Believe me, I got to see this. Crossed it off and gave me another score. Gave me a lower score. It was enough to knock me out of top 15. That was my first, and it wasn't because I wasn't good, and it wasn't because the person didn't say anything. It's because they wanted to make sure that I knew where my place was because I was black. That was my first taste of prejudice. And I sat in the stands and watched the top 15 go on the main floor, and I cried the whole time I was there. My mother could not console me. My friends could not console me. No one can console me. But I decided at that particular point in time in my life that I would never feel like that again in my life, and I never did. Because I had never seen prejudice. I was raised in like a neighborhood that, hell, we had everybody. Okay, we had Mexican, we had Sicilian, we had Chinese, we had Jewish, we had Canadian, French Canadian, we had interracial couples. You name it, we had it. And this was in a 10 block, like 10 houses around me. So I didn't know what prejudice was, and I got to experience it. And that I understand what the hurt. I understand when somebody says something against you. I understand the hurt and the pain that you feel. But I also learned that that didn't define me. And that wasn't going to stop me. And I don't let anything, I guess I just don't let that kind of stuff do that to me because I remember how that felt. And these young folks that are out here nowadays, and I think they want a lot of validation, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. They want a lot of validation from looky-loos. That's what I call them, looky-loos, that don't know anything about them. They want that validation from people that they're never going to meet, probably. They're never going to know. They might have a million followers. They're never going to meet these people. And I'm just really concerned because this is a TikTok, tickety tackety talk, tickety talk, and Twitter and and all these are forms of communication.
Mm-hmm.
And we got people killing themselves over this form of communication.
I think it goes a little deeper than that. And the reason why I say that is because honestly, what you learned at what age were you?
I was a teenager.
I just learned that last year.
Yeah, I was a teenager.
I just learned it last year. At the end of last year, I learned it. I did not know it before. And everything that anybody said to me that was negative, I took that because I believed that myself.
Mm.
And that's what I realized. It wasn't that I was taking someone else's words. No, I actually believed that about myself. So therefore, if someone did give me a compliment, I didn't know how to take it because I believed the worst
Okay.
because of life experiences growing up as a kid. I'm the youngest of a bunch of siblings, and the age difference between me and the siblings that I grew up with is like 6 years and above. So, and my sister and I had a conversation about this, the way they saw life versus the way I saw life at my age. I'm the little sister. I got to hang out with them, and they're like, man, you cramping my style. I don't feel like doing this. And it wasn't necessarily that they didn't like me. Where they were in their life is completely different than where I was in my life. I didn't even know to care about any of the stuff that they were caring about because they were teenagers. I was literally like, what? She was 6. I when I was born. My brother was 9 when I was born. So the difference between that and the way at least the way I took the energy that they gave me, was that I was no longer wanted around. Nobody liked me. I'm gonna get on people's nerves and things like that. Now, mind you, I'm still thinking this shit as of last year. So that tells you that it took 43 years to come to a culmination to understand and say, oh wait, it wasn't necessarily personally against me.
Mm-hmm.
But I took all of that. My brother used to tell me, you funny looking. I got the whole, I think I told you guys this, people would see my sister and be like, damn, your sister fine. What the fuck happened to you? Like, and I took all of those things on because I thought that that's what it really was. But then last year to hear, they don't know you. How can they really tell you that? Or their perspective is not your perspective. It's not personally against you. It wasn't meant to make you feel some kind of way. It was actually to make themselves feel better about how they were feeling in their own lives, which has absolutely nothing to do with me. So I took that. Now I no longer have to take that. Someone tells me, you gotta, oh my goodness, my daughter. I'm sorry, y'all. You got a big nose or whatever. My nose is fine to me. I now get me, not letting someone else tell me who I am. But it does take an experience or something to happen to make that click. Like yours was your situation. Yours was kind of, that racism kind of thing that does kind of do something to you. We Black. This is what we do. But at the same time, that happened for you at that age. Again, mine didn't happen until last year. So people connecting that, how you feel about yourself, is going to dictate what you take from others. And that was actually my whole point. I know I said a whole bunch of stuff to actually get that point across, but yeah, that's really what I'm saying.
Okay. Right?
No, I completely agree with that.
Because I think, I know, I get it. Like I said, I got it at a younger age. And then honestly, I think, as you know, Siren, you know how you look at the universe and blah, 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 because that actually helped me get through what I had to get through the rest of my life.
It did. That worked out in your favor, definitely. Even though, yes, it was I would say that's a fucked up situation.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think we can't sugarcoat that shit.
No.
But at the same time, you were able to overcome it, and that experience expanded who you are and who you became. And I think it's fucking wonderful.
Yeah, because well, thank you. But and because then I was able to recognize, because honestly, I didn't see it before. I hadn't seen prejudice until that was like my first little tiny experience with it. And then years later I experienced it as an adult on the workplace. But I knew what I was looking at, and I got right with her after we had a little conversation with the bosses, and then I got right with her privately. But anyway, yeah, that was one of them 0 to 5,000 moments. We did 0 with the bosses. She got 5,000 when we got outside. So
that fairy turned into a demon.
Pretty much you ever and then
she got that demon time.
Honey, she quit after that too, I might add, because I meant what I said. I sure did. I won't ever forget it. So meant every word of it. Meant every word of it. I think it's really important that we have these, and we do talk a lot on this show about communication, about talking, but I think it is really important, how you receive things. Because some of us
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of the way I receive things has to do. Huh?
We're not open, I think, in some instances. That's what
do you mean by we're not open? What do you mean by we're not open?
I think sometimes we're not open to receiving.
We're not open to receiving information or receiving communication. We're on defense. We're always on defense.
Agreed.
I was gonna say a lot of the way I receive communication, because the reason why I am on defense so much is because a lot of my negative stuff growing up came from family members. It didn't come from strangers.
Mine too.
It didn't come from people that didn't know me. It came from people that knew me, and it was always contradicting itself. One minute I was pretty and you should have self-esteem and self-respect. The next minute I was the fat girl, or
but then, and I
was not as pretty as my
I totally
sister
had the same thing.
Or
I feel like the reason why I feel like the reason why we got that. I feel like the reason why we got that, because I got the same thing that you got. I feel like it was because of those people, that people were, in essence, seeing their mirror within you. They were only telling you what they saw in themselves.
But it was the people that mine came from, it was unexpected. So like the first time my grandmother told me to get my fat ass off of her washing machine door, I was 10. I can't help my size.
Was she a big woman?
But we were raised that our size as young ladies was not supposed to ever be that. It was okay for her to be that size because she had children and raised them. We were supposed to be size 2s because society didn't like fat little black girls.
So was that a do as I say and not as I do moment, JewCee?
A little bit. I mean, my grandmother, but here's the thing.
The first time
my grandmother would, I love my grandmother though. My grandmother would call me fat in a heartbeat and then give me cake. Okay. So, I mean, and then, or make like a 20-course meal. And back in the day you had to clean your plate. Sunday dinner.
The first time my brother called me ugly and said, "You'll never be as pretty as your friends," took me out.
Yeah.
Because you're my brother. Why you looking at me like that?
Yeah, my brother told me I was funny looking.
My brother
No, it wasn't funny looking. My brother said you were flat out ugly. You are fat, ugly, and light skinned. Ain't nobody gonna ever want you. You'll never be as pretty as your friends.
Well,
yeah, I was told.
Well, you made him a liar.
That part. That part.
You made him a liar. Moving on.
Boom.
I mean, he probably still feel that way because the type of girl that I am, he would never date a girl like me.
But how
He dates them foreign looking types.
but honestly, when I
He
hear
dates
people
them.
say well, he said that or she said this or he said that, how does that person actually feel about themselves? Because it sounds like a lot of projection.
It does. Now that I'm 40, I feel you on that. But at 14, 15,
Yeah, it's a little different. It's very different. It's very different.
it hit
Mine
different.
just called me midget.
Oh, that was the other
Midget.
thing. You're tall. You're taller than most men. Ain't nobody gonna ever want you because you tall.
Well, we now know that the three women.
That's the opposite.
Well, we all know that
Climb
the three
every
women.
mountain, motherfucker. Climb every mountain.
That part, and the three women that are sitting right here
That's it.
on your screen. Trust me, there's a line,
I'm still short.
and there's still a line.
And I climb every mountain. I like them 6'3" motherfuckers. I don't know what's wrong with me, but that's what I like. So
You know what though? That's normal. Have you ever
not
seen
normal.
it is normal. Shaquille O'Neal's wife.
Oh my
ex-wife,
God! And that
Shawnee
man is
is
so
5
7
feet
feet what?
tall.
He's 7 foot what?
And she's 5 feet tall.
Thank you.
So,
Like, hi, honey.
Look, my grandmother was 4'11". My grandfather was 6'3". So there you. That's where I get it from. I blame everything on
There
her.
you go. See, your grandma did it to you.
I blame everything on her.
Tall men like short
But
women.
my mom and
vice
dad. My
versa.
mom was like 5 foot. My dad was like 5'9". Okay, but he was the shortest of his brothers.
And I'm considered average because I'm 5'5", but I technically really don't like shorter men. I like you to be here or higher, technically.
Okay, so
5'6" or taller.
I do like tall. I like feeling like I'm being cuddled in. Like
the tallest I've ever dated was 6'6".
The tallest I've ever dated was 6'5", and I'm 6'5" in heels. So
6'6".
Go figure.
6'9".
I was climbing every mountain on 6'6".
Oh no, you're right. I can't say 6'5". I have 2 exes.
6'6". That was a lot. Big Mike. Hey, Big Mike, if you're out there and you ever see me again.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
That's hilarious. That's why I like. Oh my God, my memory. Woo.
When you go to the way back machine.
I did. That was way back. That was a way back. That was a way back. I mean, way back.
When you had them flashback moments, baby.
Woo! Make your head pop.
You see the smile, so it wasn't a bad flashback. Okay. So, I think, like I said, communication. And you guys know how I feel about communication and receiving it. What do you think is a good technique, though, for people that have a hard problem actually receiving communication, receiving what somebody, because some people are, when you talk to them and you're trying to be da 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 da. I just went through this situation with the party that I did this past weekend. But we have a young lady intoxicated and she's really not listening, and she's gonna wind up in a lot of trouble eventually, unfortunately, more trouble than she's been in if she doesn't get herself together. But people tend to not want to receive some of the communication that you give them. And I know, you do your best, you try. I get that. But how can we make sure that someone is receiving your communication correctly?
Well, it's not your job to make sure they receive it correctly, just that you give it correctly. Receiving it is on the person receiving it. And the main thing to focus on there is being open to everything that is being said to you and not being defensive automatically.
I agree.
It's the only way you're going to get somebody's true intentions.
I feel like Gen X, and you're on the cusp of that, so I'm going to include you too, Purple Rain. We are the fuck around and find out generation. Because we for damn sure had to. Wasn't no, oh, you're sheltered, oh, you're going to get a participation trophy, or any of that. We literally had to find out for ourselves, which created something with us that made us go, Before I do that, let me look at this. Before I say that, let me think about this. I mean, it may not necessarily been in the most non-toxic way, but we found out. But sometimes we take away people's autonomy to figure shit out for themselves because we want to cradle, or we want to be like, I want to make sure, but how do I make sure that they get it? The only people we can control is ourselves. And because of that, you can say something. JewCee, you've said so much to me. You've encouraged me. You've given me ideas, and I'm sure you've been looking like, okay, Dani, what the fuck are you doing? Sometimes it doesn't always compute in the moment, depending on where I am in my head or whatever. But then you can say something that you have said probably 100 times to me, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and I know I get on your nerves with that shit, but it's true.
Woo! You see this little gray hair right here?
But it's true. But like, really think about that shit.
Right here.
That patch belongs to you, Siren.
But I mean, like, think about it. Think about it. You can say something. Think about it this way. You can say something to somebody. 3 people can say it to that person. They didn't catch it. Then all of a sudden, somebody else say it. And they get it. And you sitting there watching the shit happen like, but I just said the same damn.
But most times that has to do with our receiving styles. Because
and that's because of
you
where
can
we
listen
are
to you
within
can
us.
listen to somebody, but if you are not open to what they are saying to you and you are defensive, you're going to automatically not listen to anything they say.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So-
It's where you are in your head, and the person that is giving the advice has to understand it may not always be received the way we want it to be received, but we gave the information.
Mhm.
We did what we had to do. Like, that's why, JewCee, you told me. I know it's computing in here. Yeah, I know I got a big head, but it's a lot of computing in here. It just may take some time. We can't be upset because when we gave the information or the advice, they didn't take it right then and there.
Well, here's the other thing that I find too. I think something that you just said really hit home with me, because I know this happens quite a bit, especially in my previous relationship. I would say something to him, to help him or whatever the case may be, and then he would turn around and go talk to other people. The other people would give him the same exact advice that I gave him, but they would get the credit. And I'm like, and after a while, I just said, no, don't say nothing, because it's not gonna do any good. But I'm like, didn't I just tell you that like 4 months ago to do da 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 da? But now when they say do it, you hop to it. You're gonna get out there and go do it. But if I say do it, it seems like, yeah, she just talking out her ass. Okay, well,
It wasn't computing.
It really wasn't. And I thank you for that, because that is that's something I never ever thought about. Did not think about.
And I think about what you're saying in regards to his career path and everything else and what he has experienced, and we know what this is.
Yes.
Why certain things are not. Me personally, mine is I'm neurodivergent. Stuff doesn't quite compute for me the way it computes for other people, or what they want to say, most people. So now I understand that this is just the way I am. It's not personally against you. It's not that I'm not listening to you. Yeah, I heard you, what you said, but I couldn't quite compute it. And it's almost like in the moment when the other person says it and you absolutely do actually understand it, you're looking at that person like, oh yeah. Then after the fact, you start to realize, but wait, JewCee said that too. It's after the fact.
Right.
It's because in that moment, you're like, oh my God, I finally got it. I got it. Oh my God, thank you to that person. Because of whatever you had to go through to figure it out, you did. But then that person is right there and they say, and it clicks right there. And you're like, oh, thank you. It's not a fuck you. It's a thank you. Then eventually we come to that's what I do that all the time. I think I get on Michael's nerves sometimes with that. I know I get on your nerves with it.
I don't think with that relationship, though, that was that. I think because it was coming out of her mouth, he didn't want to hear it. And he was closed off to everything she had to say, which is why the other people got the credit?
I can't say one way or the other because I've had the experience.
I think because, well, with his condition, because he does have a condition, he does have memory lapse, and I know that for a fact
his career.
because of his career, and the verbatim is the part.
This neuro is something.
It's the verbatim.
Neurospicy
For me,
people,
with when I discovered what was really happening is he could say something. We'd be talking about something. He would tell me something. Then a month later, we'd be talking about maybe the same thing, and he would tell me something, and he would tell me it verbatim from what he told me a month ago. Like he never said it at all. He does not remember saying it. And then I was starting to realize that it was verbatim. It's exactly the same inflection in his voice, the same words. It's just like he never, ever said it.
It's the processing. It's the mental processing. It's not like most people, as they say.
At some point, I do understand that his career. So it is it's a little different in his situation, but I have had people, you tell them something, and that's all you can do. And I know that as a person. I know that as an educator. I know all I can do is get the information to you. That is my job. That's what I am supposed to do, is give you the information. What you do with it is on you. If you don't totally receive it, if you don't totally accept it, if you don't like what I have to say, that's fine. That's why I call myself an erotic advisor. I never, ever, you guys will always know, I will never use the word sexpert. That's too much pressure. I'm going to be an erotic advisor and a sexuality coach. I can coach you. I can give you advice. What you do with what the information that I give you is totally up to you.
And I use life coach because
I use intimacy coach.
I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just giving perspective.
Just giving you options, listening to what you have to say, giving you some things that can hopefully change if you're on a negative path, or I think that a lot of folks don't listen well. Like I said, I think when we started the conversation, we were talking about, how people listen, and some of them don't listen. They just don't. They tune you out.
They don't know how. They don't have the listening skills.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And you were saying, Purple Rain. So people that listen aggressively, I'm curious. I mean, we were talking, you were talking about aggressive, passive aggressive, manipulative.
So
are there listening skills aggressive, passive aggressive, manipulative? Are there?
It's of a listening to respond instead of listening to is a listening to react versus a listening to respond.
Okay.
So all of those different styles, with the exception of assertive, because in assertiveness, you're just being very blunt. You're listening to react. So you're waiting for them to say something that triggers you, especially in aggressive.
So you're
or manipulative. You're waiting for them.
You're anticipating, correct?
Anticipating. Or like with manipulative, you're listening to see what you can hear to turn it around for your benefit.
Like trigger words almost.
Trigger words.
Okay.
You're manipulative communication styles when listening they listen to what you're saying, they hear you, but they're looking at how they can take what you're saying and make it benefit them. They're manipulating the situation.
To not take responsibility.
Passive. Mm-hmm. Passive aggressive. I mean, it's all the same thing. Whatever that communication style is and that you would use to communicate is also in turn on how you listen and ultimately respond to a situation. But it's based on how you're handling it. I used aggressive as my example because I know that when my defense mechanism is up, I'm listening to react. I'm not listening to respond, which is something that most people think are the same thing, and they're not.
Not at all.
Reacting to what someone says means that you're on attack mode or your walls are up and you're trying to figure out how to avoid the confrontation. Responding is listening to hear everything they have to say clear and concisely, and then processing what you're going to say before you even respond.
Absolutely.
I've realized that lately. Yep. I've realized that in my past, I've always listened to react. I am now listening to respond, and I'm using those new skills I learned in my relationship. Most times, if I was to ask the person I'm dating certain questions, if then I feel like they say something I'm not gonna like, I react. This time around, I've learned how to process my thoughts, think about what I'm going to say, and listen to what they're saying and how they feel about something before responding, which is a whole new thing for me. I'm learning.
Joseph,
I'm trying to grow up, y'all. I'm 40. Big girl now.
Trying to put away childish things. There you go. Joseph says you should listen to learn.
I like that one. And you should, because you can learn something different out of every conversation.
I like that because the thing is that a lot of the times, and honestly, Purple Rain, you saying that, I want to give you kudos for that because there's a lot of people that don't know that. You said, I know that I have a tendency to listen to react and not to actually hear. You said not to respond. I say you need to listen. Don't listen to react. Listen to understand. Because when you understand, then your response feels more grounded to me personally. Because now I'm not I'm just saying something out the side of my neck, thus getting a reaction from you, then causing another reaction from me, and then it just goes boom. So if I can listen to you to understand where you're coming from, and that's why I said earlier, when it comes to the communication part, I want to hear it. I want to hear it, but I need to also understand it. So because of the way it computes in my head, I'm going to have some questions. I'm going to be like, what? It could be even something so simple as, what did you mean by that? You said this. What I heard did I hear that correctly? That's why y'all always hear me say, I reserve the right to be wrong, because I understand that the way people are communicating, I might not necessarily be able to hear it all or even understand it all for that matter. But the fact that you're able to say that, it's a lot of people that can't even say that. They'd be like, nah, they was wrong. They was wrong. I don't care. I don't care.
Well, and a lot of people want to be, big man on campus. So big man, big woman on campus. And they don't want to. And some people, if we're listening to learn, some people don't want to learn. Some people don't want to take the moment to be empathetic. They don't want to, it's all about me, find me. That's what it's about nowadays. It's all about, me, find me. Right. That's my sorority. Mine is me, find me. My mama was an AKA. I'm a me, find me. So
I never pledged a sorority. So
me, find me is my sorority for myself. There we go.
You are GDI. You are GDI, a goddamn individual.
All right. There you go. Me, find me.
What we got? G. D.
Me find me.
Y'all are a mess.
So that
Spoken like some true GDIs,
Yeah.
I swear.
Papa Joe said it right. Yes, your emotions can block your ability to listen, but that's if you're expecting your emotions to tell you how you're supposed to react or respond
Mhm.
instead of telling you what path you're on. Because that's what our emotions are supposed to tell us. What path are we on? And then we go accordingly. It's not to tell you how to respond or how to react.
And you know what? I just want to say it is okay to have a reaction, because I think sometimes what we do forget is your words, just like your actions, have consequences.
Absolutely.
So if you take the moment, like I think like Purple Rain was talking earlier, if you take the moment to put your thoughts together before you open your mouth, which a lot of people don't, because
Mhm.
you know we're in this, we can take the orange man for example. The orange man feels
The
like
Cheeto, the hot Cheeto. That man ain't he red.
Oh
He
shit!
is a whole Cheeto. He's a whole Cheeto.
he's not getting he's not getting his daily orange spray as much either, I guess, because he's got to go to court so many times. But you know,
Good Lord.
he feel like the orange man feel like, I can say whatever the hell up. Yeah, but your words are inciting issues and problems. And you have to be held accountable and responsible for what you're saying and what you're doing, because you're not just saying things, you're also putting things into motion and there's actions that are going behind it. So words are very powerful, and
Very.
Yes.
we have to, although in this country, we have the right to say, you do, all of us, you have the right to say whatever it is you feel like you've grown enough to say. You sure do. But you also have the right to get those consequences.
Absolutely.
Okay, like when I was a little girl, and if I swore at my mother, there was a consequence. Okay, you say something out.
There is a cause and effect to everything.
Man.
There you go. There was a consequence. There's some consequences. Understand when you get ready to
you did this, and that caused me to do this. I need you to understand. My reaction is due to your action. Every action causes a reaction or opposite reaction.
This is science.
There you go.
It is a scientific fact that if something happens, there's going to be a reaction out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it is a great reaction or whether it's a fucked up reaction. There's gonna be a reaction.
Right.
There will be one, if not two or three.
Right.
You know what? We're not gonna even put a number on it. We're just gonna say there's gonna be some reactions.
Yeah. And you have to understand that the reaction may not be the reaction that you wanted. So
that you thought you was gonna get.
It could, but see, this is what people don't think. They think consequences and they automatically think negative. No, but just know that whatever you do, good or bad, is gonna have a good or bad consequence.
Okay, so let's not say so. Okay. So the consequence word I can tell has definitely a negative connotation. So we'll just go back to science. For every action, there is a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends on.
It depends on what your action is, that what my reaction is going to be.
And there are people who will match energy.
Yep.
I triple energy. F that.
I tend to try to not.
Oh,
it kicked her off mid-sentence.
I got her. Here she goes, I think. Nope.
But yeah, I definitely agree.
And like I said, you just have to. Communicating is not easy, guys. It really is not. For whatever reason,
It's
we
not.
make
It's not.
sometimes as adults, we make things more difficult than they actually need to be. But you do have
Correct.
to find a way to, especially if you're in relationships, whatever the relationship might be, whether it's a working relationship, a friendship, a marriage, or this or that. I know that's her telling me she's knocked off.
No, her computer died.
Okay. Whoop, she's back. Hang on. At the bottom. Let me get this one. There she goes.
This is fucked up.
She looked like a little girl in the corner.
I know. Her face came on and was all snarled up.
We
I'm
love
gonna
you.
just sit here and drink my wine and let y'all finish. How about that?
Well, we got you. Anyway, guys, we're getting towards the end anyway. I got to get up in the morning and hit these streets. So kind of in closing,
She calls me the hardest working woman in America. No, it's her.
I'll give it to you.
Honey, I got shoot. I got
Actually,
things.
no, I'm gonna have to give y'all neck and neck. I'm gonna have to give y'all neck and neck personally.
I got things to do in 2024. Okay,
Let's
things
go.
to do.
Y'all, don't we? Let's go. Let's
My
get
dad
it.
told me I'm Jamaican. My dad said my child is Jamaican. I guess I am.
Everybody
Got
told me.
trees, second job.
Everyone told me I'm Jamaican, and I tell them no, I'm Jewish. About that paper.
And I say I'm melanated.
That
damn it.
part.
About
I'm
that
melanated.
paper.
That's what it is.
I'm about that paper. Okay, y'all. We only got a couple of shows left. We are gonna take a hiatus for Christmas and New Year's, since they are both on Monday nights. So we got a couple of shows left in the year. We definitely want you guys to be a part of the adult conversation. Next week we will be back. We will be on time next week. Okay, ladies, we're going to be on time. And
hold on. Unfortunately, I cannot make next week's show. I will be in Chicago for my brother's funeral.
Oh, well, I guess we'll definitely sending you prayers, love, and light for
I
your.
appreciate you
Yes,
guys.
ma'am.
But yeah, y'all hold it down for me, please, because
We will definitely. We got you, girl. Please.
I know you do. I know y'all do. Y'all always got me. Y'all always got me.
We got you. We'll come up. I know. Hey, Purple Rain, let's talk about Siren for the whole show. She ain't gonna be here.
Please do. Yes. I'll take it.
Right here.
We're gonna talk about her the whole time. Shh.
Yes, how wonderful I am, how gorgeous I am, and how just so fucking amazing I am. Yes.
We're gonna talk
I'm
about
here
her
for it.
Shh.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do a grab bag, and so I'm gonna make a post to make everybody give me questions.
Get some questions up. That'll be cool.
There we go.
But we will be back next Monday night. We got 2 more episodes for 2023. So we want you guys to come back and join us because we love you. We need you. And we just want to have a little bit of fun with you guys again next week. So come back. We'll be here. We're gonna be on time. I'm not gonna be trying to get a printer fixed.
Or my computer won't be acting stupid.
When she won't.
I'll be able to see the comments,
Right. So we got a lot of stuff that just did. Tonight was technical difficulty night, but we made it. We managed. We made it. We managed.
We did.
And thank you, Purple Rain, for such a fantastic topic. We hope that everybody, if you missed any of the show, you can definitely check us out on any of our channels, especially on YouTube. If you've missed any of our shows, go out and take a listen because we got a lot to say. We sure do. And we're going to have a lot to say in 2024 as well, because we will be back. So make sure that you join us again next Monday night right here live for Juicy Tales Erotic Chat. I am Miss JewCee for my 2 beautiful melanated queens, Miss Purple Rain and Miss Siren. Make sure you enjoy, enlighten, and embrace eroticism, and come back and join us next week. We start at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard, 6:30 for our people out on the West Coast. And we hope to see you again next Monday night. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Love you. Smooches.